Minnesota Golden Gophers.
A golden gopher is a feisty little rodent.
We have made 15 NCAA tournament appearances.
This is our first semifinal appearance since 2004.
We may be the number 11 seed,
but we're here to win it all.
Minnesota lost the opening set to Texas, but they are in front here in the second. Led by Lauren Gitmeyer. They were in the national semis in 03 and 04 and played in the final in 2004. So this is their third trip of the decade. And this the unlikeliest of the three as they come in as the 11 seed. If they win it, that would tie for the lowest seed to ever win the championship. And a reminder, our second semifinal coming up tonight around 9 Eastern with Hawaii taking on Penn State. It's the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. The Rainbow Wahine, the 12 seed, coming out of that Stanford Regional. Of course, Penn State, winners of 100 in a row, looking for a third national championship. Led by the National Player of the Year candidates Alicia Glass and Megan Hodge. No seniors have ever won more in volleyball history than those two have. They're 140-5 for their careers.
What's with those 5 losses anyway?
They happened early.
Yeah, haven't lost since September 15th to Stanford 2 years ago. But it's interesting, Rose thinks of those as separate streaks. We'll cover that more later in the second semifinal.
Minnesota in the dark jerseys, Texas in white. Since the beginning of the season, Coach, I think safe to say that most volleyball fans were anticipating a Texas-Penn State final. They have been number 1 and number 2 all year long, but Minnesota and Hawaii hoping to crash the party.
Not only anticipating, but awfully excited about it.
And you get the sense that that sits just fine with Mike Hebert and Dave Shoji, the other KG veteran coach for Hawaii. They love that underdog role. And in fact, a great story after the regional finals last weekend, Coach Shoji actually sent a text to Mike Hebert that simply said, "Old guys rule." Those two have been around for over 30 years apiece. And they're both in the national semis yet again.
Coach Shoji happy to be back. His best decade NCAA title-wise was the 80s, but now a nice strong team, and Hebert back for the 3rd time this decade to the semifinals.
Kanani Danielson is the player to watch for the Rainbow Wahine in that second match coming up next. Spinning over the net, but just wide, point Texas.
Boy, with Minnesota having an 18-16 lead, that is not a good choice. Carrico has to keep that ball in and give her blockers a chance to make a point. She has Tabitha Love at the net, 6'6". She got a block recently. And now that leads probably to another point. Got to make Texas play. Can't give up freebies. Texas might be able to afford to give up freebies to Minnesota, but not the other way.
The Golden Gophers love Carrico's attitude and her experience, but if there is a question mark, it's her decision-making sometimes. And a stop for Texas. They've taken 3 points in a row here to grab the lead back. Timeout Minnesota as the Longhorns have come back here in the second. Texas back on top and looking for the commanding 2-0 lead.
My motto is still, that's the ticket. To live every moment to the fullest.
My motto is believe. You always have to try something once.
My motto is do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do.
My motto is carpe diem. Just keep swimming.
Always good to get the Disney references in there. Just keep swimming from Ashley Engel and the Texas Longhorns. They won the opening set and are now on top in the second. The NCAA Division I Women's Volleyball National Championship match is Saturday, December 19th at 8 Eastern on ESPN2. For more info, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. Knocked long by Texas, point Minnesota. Did you have words to live by when you were playing cards, or still to this day?
Oh, one of the ones I like was the Olympic motto, Sidious, Altius, Fortius.
Oh.
Faster, higher, stronger. And yours?
Dropping a little Latin on us, thank you very much. I was always a big Mark Twain fan. Why wouldn't you go out on a limb? That's where the fruit is. My deep words to live by as we're going back and forth here in the second set. Texas by 1. Amber Roberson, who is seeing more playing time here in the second set, gets the kill there. Sydney Yogi.
Roberson came in relief a little bit last weekend, too, in the regional in Omaha.
The Texas block able to keep it alive. Looking to Fawcett. Right at Carrico. Did not get it down. Point Texas in the race to 25 here in set number 2.
Since that 18-16 lead, Minnesota a number of freebies. That one out of bounds. The Carrico one from the floor out of bounds. That's hurt Minnesota a lot.
The 5-1 run for Texas. Hooker looking to add to it. And does, in the shake of her head, not a chance for the defense.
Carrico trying to be too tricky there. That's one of the things, one of the few things that Coach Hebert has had an issue with is some of her choices. She chose to put it over softly. Texas all over it, rather than getting it to one of her hitters like Gibmeyer for an attack.
6 of the last 7 points scored by Texas. They are now 3 points away from taking the set. Men's college basketball action continues on ESPN Saturday afternoon. We got a doubleheader for you. Manny Harris and Michigan taking on top-ranked Kansas and Sharon Collins. That's at noon Eastern on ESPN in the green game. And then at 2 o'clock, Deion Thompson and the North Carolina Tar Heels in Cowboys Stadium to face number 2 Texas and Damian James. It's all part of Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers on ESPN Saturday. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. And you heard Destiny Hooker talking about volleyball winning a title, football possibly winning a title, and well, basketball's thinking that way as well with that number 2 ranking. But they might have to get through their Big 12 mates, the Kansas Jayhawks, to do it. Of course, North Carolina, the defending national champions. And they'll be back in business as well. That'll be something, the first game ever to be played in Cowboys Stadium. And here at the St. Pete Times Forum in Tampa, the Texas Longhorns are a few points away from the commanding 2-0 lead. Destiny Hooker with 11 kills. Ashley Engel's got 9. Julianne Fawcett with 6. That's the balance that Jared Elliott was looking for when they shuffled their lineup around 10 games ago, and they haven't lost since.
And another hitting error for Minnesota. This is a really tough rotation for Minnesota because they don't have Lauren Gibmeyer in the front row. They don't have Tabitha Love in the front row. They have the other 3 players who carry less of the load.
7 of the last 8 points now for Texas. The kill for Catherine Harms.
We saw her a little in the first set coming in relief of Megan Wilson. Another one of those transfers coming into Minnesota.
Hooker again. That's a dozen now for Destiny Hooker.
Watch her come barreling in here. Blockers have to be aware. Destiny Hooker's coming in. If they reach outside, she's going to crush that sharp cross court. Blockers, especially the middle blocker, has to get in front of that.
4 set points here for Texas. And they've got a free ball to work with. Fawcett got it.